And when I realized, oh my God, this is a massive amount of data that is breaking HIPAA in every way, shape, and form. They even had to change HIPAA just to be able to do this. And to have that amount of pushback from congressmen and the healthcare field universally is unheard of. Yeah. I mean, I hate to use the word unprecedented, but it really was unprecedented to collect that amount of data on Americans. And then I come to find out that it is the Palantir program that they're using for HHS Protect. And what's interesting is there's two different programs. Now, Palantir has multiple programs for healthcare management. They call them dashboards. And they're basically ways that they're like central intelligence for the hospital. You can see the census. You can see how many nursing staff you have. You can see how many drugs you have. Everything in real time is all centralized right there. And you can touch a button and change your staffing levels or change your pharmacy or order vaccines or change how many ventilators, whatever you want to do. So there's programs to monitor all of that Palantir provides to hospitals. And hospitals already use this as just a general tool to manage their business. So it wasn't any big deal for them to take a Palantir program called, I think for under Operation Warp Speed, the HHS Protect program was part of that. And Palantir created a program called Tiberius. Tiberius was a program that used the data that they collected from HHS Protect, that they collected from the COVID-19 registry. It could predict behavior. So it had your ethnicity data, it had your location data, it had your behavioral data, it had your medical record information. It knew if you were vaccinated or not, even though there wasn't a code to track that publicly. But Palantir had a way to do that. CDC had a way to do that. HHS had a way to do that. Us in the hospital, we did not have a way to do that. We were blinded. Okay. But it assigned a risk score to people. And that's how they determined, and to hospitals too. And that's how they determined, by using this Tiberius program, where do they send the vaccines? Where do they send the ventilators? And where do they send the remdesivir?
But there's basically the way they look at it and the way I look at it, which is my view, not anyone else's, which is we're in an arms race here. That's all academic, super academic. It's like we're going to either have AI and determine the rules, or our adversaries will have it and they'll determine the rules. And so this is why these infrastructure things are crazy important, because in order to make it work, what do you need? You need infrastructure that can actually run the models, get the data there in a secure and cheap enough way. You need to make the models actually useful. You need ontology to do that, meaning you have to deploy them where they're useful and where they're not, and orchestrate them. And if you start putting impediments on this, de facto what's going to happen is our adversaries will build it, and we will be buying everything from them, including our ideas of how to run our country. And so, like, my personal version, Palantir, what we represent at Palantir, what we do not impose on anyone else is we're running like hell. And we're going to support anybody, especially people on the front line, who can, like, galvanize this infrastructure, and then our clients in the DoD especially, and help make the American warfighter the most lethal in the world.